So of the five, my favorite is probably Marcus Aurelius. Marcus, of course, went to German territory, so began a campaign against the Germans, but realized in this campaign he wasn't going to be able to penetrate into German territory. As a result of this, he sets up a defensive camp base all through the area. In the title of this, he begins writing his own memoirs, and looking at these memoirs, he understands it.
These emperors are all boring. They did just good things.
I thought there were some pretty weird guys too.
Well, the emperors were a good and bad lot, but some of these guys were as bad as it got. Born to Germanicus, Gaius had an auspicious start, but he proved to be quite deranged at heart. Growing up in his father's military camp, he wore his little boots and got used to the damp. When he was 19, he was taken to Capri, where he learned from his uncle what it's like to be a bad emperor. Caligula became a deviant. During his reign, he held a pervy event, which was a party that perhaps went a little too far. He made his palace into a high-class lupanar.
But this was all okay, as he thought himself a god. This gave him leeway to do things that were odd. He allowed into the Senate his favorite horse and had relations with his sister. Of course, he quarreled with the Germans, Britain and the sea, taking seashells as his spoils back to Italy. He annoyed too many people, and thus his fate was plain. In 41 AD, this emperor was slain.
Oh, poor Nero, all he wanted was to sing, but that evil, nasty Senate wouldn't let him do his thing. Everyone was a critic, including his mom. She annoyed him. Nero wanted her gone. In love with a slave girl, he tried to sink her ship, but Agrippina survived. This made Nero flip. Now his matricidal intentions were overt, and she became one of the thousands that he hurt. Many deaths happened in 64's Great Fire. Laughing Nero watched on, playing his lyre. After the devastation, he was forced to handle the situation. He turned Christians into candles. On burnt land, he built a golden house at great cost. Abandoned in 68, what an artist the world lost.
In succession, Marcus Aurelius forgot about good. For all his meditations, he did something he never should. He left the Eternal City with a hedonistic ruler. To the physically incapable, no emperor was crueler than Commodus, who threw them to the lions. Or to face himself, Hercules, with bloodlust and violence. He ignored the public's cries and with his sword killed giraffes. Lions, ostriches, elephants too, quite the political gaffe.
He renamed all the months, one for each pretentious name. Commodus's fortunate Senate on him placed the blame. In 192 he was poisoned by the Senate's wrath. Though he threw it back up, he was strangled in his bath. Get a load of this guy, a terrible brother. He killed his own sibling right in front of their mother, whilst he tried to end their long feud in peace, which was so bad it almost rent the West from East. He went on a grand tour demanding expensive cuisine all over the empire, old Caracalla's destructive machine. The Alexandrians made a mockery of him with a play. Enraged, Caracalla said that he would slay them all until blood reached his horse's knees. Caracalla was quite a difficult man to please. He is named after his favourite kind of hood, and was killed while peeing for the public good.
In 218, the powers that be took a wager. As emperor, they appointed a young teenager, Elagabalus 14, chief priest of Elagabal, but for his sexual practices he is known above all. Feminine at heart, and in dress and in style, he wanted to be a woman all the while. He asked his guardsmen about castration. What method was best? It was an awkward situation. He'd stand nude, purring in palace doors as a model, then he went into the streets to work in all the brothels.
He offered anything for a sex change operation, wanting to be a queen, ignoring public condemnation. He committed the heinous crime, marriage to a Vestal, dethroned Jupiter, put Elagabal on his pedestal. He looked for men with hernias, and in order to be arty, invited them to his palace and had a ruptured party. But his end was near. This monarch from the east, they slaughtered him and threw him in the Tiber like a beast. This guy was a monster, a huge hulking brute, standing 7 feet tall, scarred. He wasn't cute, he took a fight to where a fight wasn't needed, and beat the living daylights.
Oh shoot, we're out of time.
Damn.
Well, yeah, so that's our project.
That's it? That's it?
Alright.
Can we go now? Yeah.